Welcome Econ students. Today we'll be evaluating companies. Yeah, that's right. We're going to look at some stock data for one particular company, and you will be determining what the next logical approach will be if you were to invest in that particular stock. So let's get started. Keeping in mind that over the last few weeks you have learned how to analyze stocks given some basic information from a variety of sources like Yahoo Finance or MarketWatch.com, and now should have the tools necessary to evaluate whether a stock is doing well or not so well and determine what you would do if you were given a situation to make a choice. You will put that information to practice today in the following exercise. We're going to give you an opportunity to see some stock charts on the following slides as well as some company data, and then you will need to make sure to chime in at the end and write up your response, because it'll require you to use evidence that you collect from the next few slides in your answer. And the more detail you use in your answer with evidence, the better your score will be. So let's get started. Here you have stop. The ticker symbol is WING, and you see the last price from earlier on February 22nd, 2021. And I want you to make sure you take in all the data. I'm going to ask you a few basic questions about the data to make sure you know where to find things, and also whether or not you can find what the short-term, mid-term, and long-term performance outlook are based on financial analysts' predictions. Okay, so answer those questions and then you can move on to the next step. On this particular stock chart, you will see a full screen view of Wingstop's 1-year chart and various data points that are being shown to you in its historical data. So you can see as you reach back as late as August of 2020, it was way up near 160, and it reached a low point in December 30th of 119, and has gone up and down a little bit here and there. On the 17th it was at like 145, and it's been up as much as 157 there, and it reached a peak on 2/11 of this year just under 167. So now we're looking at a downfall and a downslide to where over the last few days since its last earnings report came out, it has fallen to 134 as of this morning. So looking in comparison to the Dow Jones Industrial Average during that same course of time, 24% was the average gain for the Dow, and only 0.97% gain for Wingstop, where you have the S&P 500 at 27% over that same period of time over the best 500 companies. And now we're looking at a comparison of a competitor, McDonald's, and you can see that over the course of the same period of time from late June of 2020, it is now at 15% in comparison to Wingstop at only 0.9%. So that's not great. Anyway, considering that data, what would you do in the next spot? Answer these interruption questions and you can move on to the next stage. Now consider this Wall Street report in the news last week about Wingstop, and read through the article, then answer the interruption questions that pertain to it. As you've probably seen on most Yahoo stock quotes, they have a handy-dandy tool called the earnings expectation report, and they have the consensus EPS, which is that circle, and that's what analysts predict would be their target for their earnings at the end of each quarter. And as you can see on the left-hand side table, that is a standalone view where they beat expectations in Q1. In Q2, Wingstop beat expectations by 10 cents there. They met expectations in Q3, and in Q4 they missed expectations by a lot, by 45 cents. Their next report is not coming out until May 4th at the end of Q1 2021. When you play through this segment over here, you can see by how much they missed their beat their target accordingly. So in the first part, they beat their estimate. In the second one, they beat their estimate for Q2 by 10 cents. They met their target in Q3, and they missed their target in Q4. So you can imagine the progression based on that. If you go back and look at the chart on the same timelines, the stock price is affected. So you need to determine what the next step would be in your decision, whether you want to invest in this stock or not, and how would you do so. Your choice is, do you buy the stock or do you short sell it, and why? For the last exercise here, you need to write up your findings. Provide 3 reasons as to why you would buy or short sell stock in Wingstop. Remember that the better you explain your reasons, the better your score will be. You need to provide evidence from the graphs provided and be specific about your reasoning. When you see the interruption come up, that will be your cue to answer the question in the free response space provided. Thank you. That's it. At the end, don't forget to submit your response.